Thank you. Madam Speaker, I rise to support this motion as amended by the Senate. Madam Speaker, tough times call for tough measures. Throughout last year, I think our country received a lot of accolades for the management of this pandemic, as opposed to many other countries, not just in the region, but world over. And Madam Speaker, I think at some point, we let our guard down because we've been doing well. In terms of managing the disease, in terms of keeping the numbers down, and even in terms of the kind of health care that we were able to get. At that point, Madam Speaker, we had the ad hoc committee. And the ad hoc committee of the Senate, which I was chairing, was the one institution, or rather body representing this institution, that had a bird's overview, a bird's eye view over the entire, all aspects of the COVID-19 pandemic in this country. And Madam Speaker, we interacted with all areas: economic issues, the health issues, the social issues, security, human rights. And you could tell at that time that even the executive was really taking the cue that the House was setting throughout that period, even until the committee ended its mandate under Senator Kasanga. Madam Speaker, the concern that there still needs to be oversight must be stated. That even at this point, because I support the President's initiative to lock down the country, in as much as it is difficult. And I think we all need to understand that it is not in any government's interest to do a lockdown. One, if you look at the level of taxes that have gone down, no government would want to reduce how much money it's collecting. No government would want to restrict trade. When we were doing the budget policy statement the other day, we considered the projected economic growth, which is very low, and what has happened in the last financial year. So even that tells you that these are desperate times. The number of deaths, Madam Speaker, we've lost friends. In fact, tomorrow I'm burying a friend, Antonio Leting in Kitale. We've lost friends over the past few days, many. In fact, it's no longer news. These days, you wait and hear today who has died. Yeah? These measures needed to be taken. Madam Speaker, it is unfortunate, and I've had certain colleagues saying, because our standing orders are clear, I think standing order 100 or 101, that a member must be responsible for a statement of fact. Nowhere in the President's statement did he direct Parliament. The President did not direct Parliament. He cannot direct Parliament, and he did not. On top of saying with concurrence with the speakers, he asked that the houses then take cue and use their procedures to consider an adjournment. And that is what we are doing. It is easy, people like coming to just throw stones sometimes at the President, but we cannot allow that, because that is not what he did. And we saw our speakers there. I don't think they were being told off. But even in this House, we've lost friends. We've lost members in the National Assembly. Madam Speaker, we've lost many people. And so what we need to be talking about at this point is then how do we as leaders play our part in ensuring that the common mwananchi is safeguarded at this point. There are many areas that we need to look at. Madam Speaker, as we speak today, I am dealing with almost 4,000 Nairobians evicted in Njiru, Kware, ongoing demolitions during a pandemic, Madam Speaker. When you talk to those people and try to commiserate, they ask you which kind of government is it that is evicting us at this point. We need to be able to have our committees to look into that issue, Madam Speaker. And that is why I like Senator Ochilo Ayako's amendment. We need to be able to look at that, those demolitions in Njiru, in Kasarani constituency, in my county, Madam Speaker. We need to look at these people who have been in the, especially hospitality industry. The taxi drivers, the bouncers, the DJs, they need to be cushioned. Madam Speaker, I'd like to inform the House, I know my time is going as I finish. The bill that we did last year, the pandemic response and management bill, is still very much needed. My county, not only is it just what worst hit, Madam Speaker, But by virtue of the work we did, this bill is still very much needed. Remember when we were doing our oversight, we went around counties and we agreed on the number of ICU beds to be increased. Because we lowered our guard as a country, today there are no ICU beds. Last week I was struggling to find ICU beds for some Nairobians. Even talking to the CEO of Kenyatta University Hospital could not help, even the chair. So we need to pick up that bill again. I hope when we come back we can pass it now properly. We've agreed with the National Assembly how to deal with it, because we must know how to deal with the pandemic, because it is not a normal occurrence, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we need to make sure that the police are not harassing people in this area of lockdown, and my county is one of those areas. And that the flow of food, Nairobi, there is no agriculture going on in terms of that can feed the entire county. There's agriculture, but not the level that can feed the entire county. We need to make sure that flow of food is going on, and that when schools come back, the school feeding program is restarted, just as we had said before we've done this. So I support the adjournment of the House, Madam Speaker, and I hope that as chairs of committees, and I chair a committee as well, that we will not lower the guard of oversight, because any executive would not want a parliament that is oversighting them at this point. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Makori Beatrice Kwamboka.
Asante, Bi Speaker.